Mercedes are currently enjoying a streak of 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships, so to say they are not the favorites going into the 2022 season would be the understatement of the year. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows for the Silver Arrows, as the team struggled all the way through Bahrain testing, facing countless issues with their W13 race car. Is it the same old story? Mercedes are known for their dominant performance, but one thing that defines the team rather well is sandbagging during preseason tests. It's been 6 consecutive years when the Brackley-based outfit turned up for testing, insisting they are not the favorites, falling short of the fastest time, and then lined up on the front row in the opening round prior to taking a dominant victory the day after. But Mercedes insist it is quite different this time. And whilst everything the Petronas-backed team says during testing has to be taken with a huge question mark, it does indeed look like the Silver Arrows are facing serious trouble, not just with extracting performance from their 2022 machine, but also from lightning-quick rival teams who have retaken the lead as all Red Bull, Ferrari, Haas, and Alpine put in times which Mercedes simply didn't have an answer to. "We are not the quickest at the moment," said Hamilton. "Ferrari look quickest, then perhaps Red Bull and maybe McLaren. But we are currently not at the top," said the discouraged Mercedes driver. "I don't think we will be competing for wins. Ferrari would probably be getting a 1-2, continued Hamilton before his teammate, George Russell, joined the conversation. "We do seem a step behind our rivals, and we have a lot of work to do between now and next week to understand because, in every condition, the Red Bull and Ferrari seem a step ahead of us," said Russell. "I think Ferrari and Red Bull are in the sort of natural position. Their delta to the front of the midfield and to the back is probably correct. We're just a little bit further behind than we would like," continued the young Mercedes driver. "I believe there is potential there. We just need to figure out a way to unlock that performance," concluded Russell. So, whilst the two Mercedes drivers didn't hesitate to hype up the competition, Carlos Sainz quickly downplayed the comments as he believes the truth lies elsewhere. "I think it's typical Mercedes, typical George," he said. "Just hype up the others and then come to the first race and blow the competition away, which is typical," said Sainz during a recent interview, following Russell's comments about Ferrari having the upper hand. "If it had been the first year they've done it, then I would maybe believe them. But they've done it for 5-6 years now, and they keep performing in the first race," said Sainz. But on the final day of testing, a sign of promise that Mercedes might be telling the truth about lacking performance came in the form of Pierre Gasly, who didn't hesitate to get into a wheel-to-wheel battle with Hamilton as the AlphaTauri driver seemed to have breezed past the Mercedes as Hamilton couldn't find an answer to his pace. "I was kind of surprised to battle with Lewis," Gasly said. "I think the conclusion is Mercedes probably doesn't look as good as they were in the past," admitted the French driver. But Mercedes' problems do not end there. The team shocked the paddock when they unveiled their new upgrade to the W13. The bright engineering minds at Brackley were busy since Barcelona, as they came up with a very unique design philosophy. The team opted for a radically different approach, with the W13 now not having any side pods at all. "The W13 has been on a diet since Barcelona," said George Russell jokingly on his Instagram, referring to the latest upgrade. "We all know the world of F1 is as much about politics as it is about racing. If a team can't beat their competitors on track, they will do everything they can to challenge them outside of racing." So, it came as no surprise that many fans started believing that an FIA protest file initiated by Red Bull or Ferrari will be laying on Toto Wolff's desk in no time. But their rivals had a different idea, as Ferrari immediately started complaining about a completely different part of the W13. It was the rearview mirrors that looked concerning to the Italian team. "Already in the past, we always argued the mirrors should not have any aero purpose. They should be there just to look behind," Mattia Binotto said. The FIA Technical Advisory Committee held a meeting on Tuesday, and whilst the results of the discussion remain to be released to the public, it is believed that the Mercedes rearview mirrors were the main talking point of the Tuesday session. But the FIA admitted its guilt as the governing body believes they phrased the regulations in a non-specific manner, which then resulted in too much wiggle room within the rulebook in certain areas. But as it was Red Bull who finished at the sharp end of the timing sheets following their upgrade for the last day of testing, the team quickly joined the conversation as Christian Horner didn't hesitate to share his thoughts regarding their competition. For me, the car that looks the most settled on the circuit is the Ferrari at the moment, Horner said. They have had a very strong testing period so far in Barcelona and Bahrain. I would say they have looked extremely competitive on track, continued the Red Bull chief. But you have to remember, these cars are still very immature. The rate of development will be fast and intense, and I expect that to change, and Mercedes will be a huge factor in this championship, I have no doubt, Horner told the media before suggesting that Mercedes could indeed be sandbagging. We have a completely clean sheet of paper. I don't think Mercedes have fully shown their hand here, concluded Horner. Consistency is there. I think the consistency is good. Balance is good, which are two positive things, Leclerc said during testing. But this means absolutely nothing on the performance, and yes, we are seeing not bad lap times for now, but lap times that don't mean anything, continued the Ferrari driver. I'm sure that Mercedes and Red Bull have so much more to come and are just hiding their game a lot for now, Leclerc concluded. So, there really are two different viewpoints in the paddock. Mercedes insisting they truly lack pace, and Ferrari being certain this is simply yet another play by the Silvereros, as the two Ferrari drivers and Binotto believe their rivals are once again sandbagging and not revealing their true pace. So, when Lewis Hamilton was asked about his stance on the current state of the W13, it came as no surprise that he sided with the Mercedes narrative. We're just working through lots of different scenarios, trying to figure out how to hold on to the downforce and not have it bouncing as it was in the last test, admitted Hamilton. I think everyone is probably in a similar boat. Some have managed to get around it in a better way. It's just difficult out there. It's bumpy, it's slippery, it's sandy. In the morning, it's way too hot. Afternoon, it's just gusty, Hamilton told the press. It's tough to drive. You can see on the onboards tank slappers left, right, and center, then bouncing and bumping. The car is not quite happy at the moment, but we're trying to tame it, concluded Hamilton, who is aiming at conquering Michael Schumacher's record of 7 World Championship crowns in 2022. Something which will prove to be an immense challenge if Mercedes doesn't pick up an upward trajectory with their W13 performance, as they really do seem to be on the back foot for now. Every single team has been making noises about a steep learning curve being evident to see in the first few races. There is zero chance the cars we will see lining up on the grid in Bahrain will be the cars we get to see crossing the finish line in Abu Dhabi in November. Every team will constantly be introducing upgrades to their chassis, trying to get that extra edge over the rest of the field. There currently are 10 teams with 10 completely different aero philosophies. It is only inevitable that some will emerge superior to the rest of the field, and it could be expected that once one team finally nails the regulations perfectly, many of its rivals will follow suit and apply almost identical chassis design to their race machines. So, whether Mercedes really is on the back foot, or whether they're just playing the game, as per usual, trying to downplay their performance to let a sense of comfort creep into their rivals' heads, remains to be seen. But one can't neglect that the Mercedes car really looks uncharacteristically flawed and problematic. But we want to know what you guys think. Do you think Mercedes are sandbagging? And what is your top 3 constructors' finish prediction? Do you see Mercedes making it 9 in a row? Let us know in the comments down below the video. We'll be reading each and every one of them. We've let YouTube decide which video you would enjoy watching next the most based on your own unique watching habits and preference. Let's see if they're right.